Well, how we doing, guys? Hope you are well, because we got blades to discuss today, and it's about time. That's all I have to say. Because last year, I reviewed the Civivi YONDER, which tons of people were excited about, really impressed by. I believe even won some awards. And I could see why, based off of its profile, materials, and cost. But as soon as I got my hands on it, I saw that there was one glaring problem. It felt like a shrunk down version of a great knife. Ergonomics were really cramped. I mean, I can barely get my finger on here, causing me to really lose a lot of leverage in real world tasks and utility. And I think I got pretty average size hands. I wear large size gloves. My knuckle span is 3 1/4. So I'm not like some giant saying, fee, fi, fo, fum, why is everything so tiny? So as soon as I was done testing it, I gifted it to my son, who wears small size kid gloves, and he loves it. And I told you then what I still believe now. If they had just made this about 1/4 inch at least longer on the blade and 1/4 inch longer on the handle, it would have been perfect from the get-go. Well, wouldn't you know, 1 year later, here we are, and we have the Civivi over YONDER. And this is exactly what I was looking for. And it doesn't feel like an extra large version. It really feels like this is where the series should have started in the first place. So now I actually have a harder question that I have to answer with you guys in this video. Is the over YONDER one of the best EDC pocket knives for under 70 bucks in 2026? Well, we're gonna find out today as I break it down with you, take it through its paces, really use the heck out of it now having carried it for a bit. And I got 2 competitive options that we have to discuss and see where the over YONDER stacks up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Gideonstactical. Let's dive in and have some fun. Now, guys, I know I'm being a little harsh on the original, and I actually have no problem with like sub 3 inch blades, which is what the original model has at like 2.8. It all comes down to the grip. It's all about the grip, If I don't have full real estate to be able to put the leverage that is required to go through, say, a piece of manila rope, or to bear down on a stick for a quick cut, whatever it may be, I'm just hanging out in the fire pit at somebody's house and they need some help with some feather sticks. If I don't have that ability, I'm not going to carry the tool. It's not necessarily about how short the blade is, it's how short the handle is. And so that is the first thing I want to hit with you guys, is that in that original video I said, give me like 1/4 inch more and I'll be over the moon. Fun factoid, that is exactly how long this now is. About 1/4 inch longer, just over 4 inches. I think it's like 4.1 and some change inches long. And now with the 3 1/4 knuckle span, large size gloves again, bam, look at that. Full real estate, baby. I got full grip. I don't feel like I'm barely holding on for dear life when I do hard push cuts. When I'm doing hard leverage points with the tool, I can actually use it in just about every environment, and I feel like I have full control and engagement with the tool. So that is awesome. I'm very, very pleased with that. And there are several different options and handle scales, so they've kept kind of the exact same profile. And this is really important. I want to know from you guys in the comment section, do you feel like the original YONDER and knives like it with sub 4 inch handles just doesn't really fit your needs and what you look for? And guys, it's really important. You recently did an amazing job on the 511 chest pack. How to help content creators, not only me, but guys in my space, guys and gals in my space. We're going upstream from the algorithm. We got to push through the algorithm. When you like a video, when you comment, even if it's just like cool knife, I like it too, like whatever, that shows the powers that be that this is a good video, and it pushes it out to more people. So it's an uphill battle, and that is a simple way in every video that you can help not only this channel, but other channels that you follow that you really like, so that they can get their information out to more people and continue to make content that hopefully is valuable and entertaining for you. This is a micarta. I think it says green micarta, dark green. That looks black to me, but maybe it's super, super, super dark green. Now, it has steel liners, which give it rigidness, so you're not going to get bowing and flexing, and they are massively skeletonized, still keeping this under that 3 ounce mark. So for a knife of this size, it's lightweight but rigid and gives you a lot of different options. And it's not just flat as a brick. You have a little bit of contouring there, no spine protrusions. You know, the spine and the scales are flush with that handle. This blade, they have extended, and now it is 3.35 inches. Like, beautiful sweet spot. I could not ask for a better length for what I personally look for when I'm looking for an all well-rounded EDC folder. You add to that you can get a high flat grind on it. That's how it comes, not like that there are options currently. High flat grind, under an 1/8 of an inch thick, 0.09. So with that little bit of sweep, continuous belly that the model has, means that it is a velociraptor of slicing capability. I mean, it is a lightsaber, scalpel, pick your favorite acronym from your favorite movie source of just slicing through material. This is a great slicing instrument. And because the tip is precise, which means it's not going to be as durable as, say, a big, thick, beefy blade, and we're going to look at a couple models in the competitive option realm here in a minute. So it will pierce excellent into packaging material. Don't be cranking on it. Don't be a dummy. Don't treat it like a screwdriver. It's not designed for that. But the reverse Tonto, I would say Tanto, but Tonto design, I really appreciate that. Maybe some people would call it like a sheep's foot, you know, model. Totally dig it. I like that because it gives you the tip geometry to be straight down the handle, right in line with the pivot and the back of the blade, giving you maximum precision on that tip if you have to go down and then do a pull cut. So that is an excellent aspect. Add to that, when we talk about value, because I paid like, I don't know, 62, 64 bucks for it, something like that. And we get Sandvik 14C28N, which to me right now is like my favorite introductory steel. If we're trying to make value to performance come together, and that usually you'll look at D2 or Sandvik. Now D2 tends to hold its edge a little bit longer, is what I found. Sandvik is more rust resistant, it's more durable. And if you were to ask me between the two, if I was making a model and trying to hit a particular price point, an introductory price point, it would be Sandvik 14C28N every time. That's what this steel has, or this is what this blade is using, and it performs exceptionally well. Holds a decent edge. You will have to resharpen it regularly. That's why you need to have a good sharpener. Work Sharp is kind of my fave. That's what I use a lot. So just on a ceramic rod from time to time, and then strop that thing with the field sharpener. You're ready to rock and roll. But that means it's very easy to maintain as well. So people who are learning about knives, getting into knives, you know, that type of stuff, it's a tool that's not going to be a nightmare to resharpen. Now, what about the action, and how does this over yonder stack up to two other high value crossbar folders that I have really enjoyed using over the years? We're going to find out here in just a second. But just like how when it comes to pocket knives, you really got to dial in the right size for your person, for your usage, that applies as well for your timepieces, and that's where the sponsor of today's video comes into play, which is VAER watches. Now, VAER is a watch company that was founded right here in the USA and has been making a lot of waves in the last few years. I've been wearing their tactical field watches on all kinds of adventures and excursions for over a year now. And when they released the S5 in 42mm size, I was stoked. This model right here fits perfectly for my wrist, and it performs because the Japanese quartz movement is housed in a 316 stainless steel body. It uses a sapphire crystal face, which is scratch resistant. I've literally run blades across the face of these watches and just shrugs it right off. Then you get a screw down crown, so that makes it a lot more capable in water, and they have their waterproof warranty, and it will come with 2 quick change wristbands. And this is just their introductory watch. They have many models that are assembled by their American workforce right here in the USA using solar power, automatic power, and so many different designs, from dive watches, more luxury designs, or straightforward field watches. And with Father's Day right around the corner, this is the perfect time to get an epic timepiece for your dad or that father figure in your life. So I have a link popping up. It's in the description box below as well. If you subscribe to their newsletter, you get 10% off your first purchase. So I encourage you guys to check them out so that you can stay on time for all of your adventures. Now, I dig crossbars. This thing is silky smooth, and it's going to come into play here when we look at the competitive options, because it's running on caged ball bearings in bronze housing, and it's creamy, dude. It is super creamy, and it's just going to fly back and forth. You got a really nice crossbar stop right there for the stop, and the stop pin will hold it right there into place. And even though it's on ball bearings, you have a little bit of side to side, but it's nice and solid up and down. So very fidget friendly, but also very easy to engage. Zero complaints. The thumb studs are easy to actuate, and it's completely ambidextrous. Okay, but in the size range and price range, we got some heavy hitters. One is the BOKER Plus KIHON designed, it's a Burnley design. And this thing right around that same cost, I believe, you know, like, I can't remember, 60 bucks, maybe ballpark. They have lots of different options. The wire pocket clip is a cool touch, flow through construction. These are not milled currently, at least with this model. I know there's like a 2.0, they may have milled those. This is gonna be a thicker, kind of more burly design. Won't slice like this one. Still cuts great, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you're looking for something a little thicker, a little beefier, then this might be an option. It does sport D2 steel, so as I've said, if you're gonna ask me between the two, I prefer the steel on the Civivi. It's lighter, it just feels more pocket carryable. This definitely feels kind of like a heavy hitter, and the action is nowhere near, it's fast, but it is gritty. I can feel it. It does not feel like the Civivi action. This is way smoother, way just more refined. It feels like this kind of feels gritty and cheap. I'm just gonna keep it real. It feels kind of cheap. Now, another option is the Beef by FLYTANIUM. Previously reviewed, I'll tag both of the videos that we're talking about. This thing is a beast. I love it. It's a great blade, still right around that, I think $60 to $70 price point, last I checked. Comes with Sandvik 14C, but it is completely customizable. You can get different handle scales, different hardware. I actually upgraded to an S90V blade that they offer. It is bonkers. Now, it definitely isn't as, I would say, refined looking. So if, you know, style matters to you, that's something definitely to be aware of. And it is, like, again, a thicker overall blade, way bigger, way beefier design. So if you're looking for something overbuilt, definitely something to consider. But again, the action, the thumb studs and the crossbars are definitely a little bitey, not as comfortable to actuate, and it just isn't as smooth. It's kind of noisy on the deployment. Whereas again, the refinement of the Civivi is where I see it really fitting into place and stands out from the competition. So I would absolutely put it in like the top 5 pocket knives that people need to consider when you are on a budget of under $100 and you are looking for a just general EDC. Was it worth the 65 bucks that I threw down on this? Absolutely, and would highly recommend it to anybody and would do it again in a heartbeat. So there it is, the Over Yonder, done right, and the right size, in my opinion, for the majority of users. That's me, that's my mileage. Appreciate you guys hanging with me today. Hope it's been fun, entertaining, giving you the data that you need. Check out the other videos, subscribe if you haven't, and always remember to stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.